My name is Kolja. I'm the global lead of corporate strategy at Leverage Experts. I'm with Leverage Experts since almost 14 years. I'm one of the founding partners, so I was there when we opened the first office. Today we have 5 companies covering German-speaking area, Switzerland, Germany, Middle East, so that's Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi, of course, and now new in Kenya. That was a very fulfilling and very rewarding experience. The audience was great, had great conversations, despite the Matatu situation and the Bopa situation. Yeah. So transport was a bit of a problem, but I think that's Kenya, it's Africa, right? I mean, you don't expect the same level of public transport than in Europe. So this is an evolving and dynamic economy which is growing very rapidly, and that's where we see the chances as well. Well, we've been working in critical and complex transformation for the past 14 years as advisors to companies, and we help companies to understand where the true problems are. We help companies to leverage out of the situation they are and basically get stronger through the crisis than they get into it. That's the aspiration. So we make sure that a company which is in a crisis situation is not filing for bankruptcy, is not going down the drain, but is using this opportunity. Crisis is always using the opportunity, and basically makes sense of that and gets ahead of their competitors after the crisis. One thing I'm not getting tired to emphasize is that management education basically ignores crisis entirely. All the scenarios we get taught in the universities and the executive education are based on going concern, so business as usual. Whereas crisis is a very different environment, and companies and executives normally have neither the tools nor the experience nor the understanding which gets them through a crisis. There's a research from the Turnaround Management Association which basically says if you're not trained in crisis management, your chances of surviving a crisis are lower than when you go to the casino and gamble. So if you're not trained, your chances of survival are 3%. When you're trained for crisis management, when you know what to look for, when you know how to address critical situations, odds go up exponentially, and you have a very good situation to not only survive, but to basically get ahead of anybody who was not prepared. I think Africa, because things are a bit less reliable maybe, many companies here are actually quite well prepared, because just the strike today in Europe, that would be unexpected, so companies wouldn't really deal with that or wouldn't know how to. Whereas here, this is just another disruption where the companies are very capable of dealing with. Now, I think it pays off for the companies here in the market to think in scenarios, to understand what is a potential next scenario that can hit us, and provision for that early on and well ahead. So build buffers, have redundancies, and make sure that whatever crisis situation is coming to you, it's not a big surprise. Count your chicken. Make sure you understand where is your costs, and make sure you understand where your critical relationships. Make sure you understand how much cash you have. Make sure you understand how long you can sustain if the crisis prevails. Make sure you understand which costs you can cut immediately, which fixed costs you can turn to variable cost. Make sure you are as safe and stable as possible, and also you understand what are the screws you can squeeze to get through the situation. And that's an exercise you can do. Basically, you sit with your CFO and just play through this, and suddenly you realize, okay, maybe there I have a blind spot, maybe here I have a blind spot, and you can start building around that and be prepared. A few things. First of all, Leverage Experts is local and global at the same time. any company can partner with a local office and find there a legally sound, economically liable partner which will service them in that market. At the same time, this office has access to a global network. They can fly in people, they can just call people, so no travel expenses, to make sure you get the best knowledge for the specific situation without need to reach out to companies in other countries. Secondly, we know about complex and critical transformation. We do that for a living. So whenever a CEO or executive team or a board member says, "Ooh, I'm not really sure how to deal with it," this is when actually our number should be on speed dial and say, "Hey guys, you've done this before. How would you think about this?" And we are happy to have this conversation, and then we see if you can do something or not. And finally, we come on board when it really matters, but we only leave once the job is done. We don't bother you with tons of PowerPoint. I mean, you get the PowerPoints, don't worry, but we stay and implement and execute with you. It's not like the big consultancy firms, which names I will not repeat now, who leave you with a more or less accurate assessment and then they go away and they leave you on your own to implement. No, we stay there. We even take up temporary executive roles and we help you to maneuver through the whole thing, and you know you're not alone.